Looking for a lightweight drone that can shoot beautiful 4K footage without feeling complicated? Today, we're taking a closer look at the DJI Mini 3 Fly More combo.
A small drone can change the way your videos look, but is the DJI Mini 3 Fly More combo the right drone for beginners and content creators? Let's find out.
Okay, so let's dive into this Fly More combo, because this isn't just a simple accessory pack, it's a fundamental shift in how you're able to shoot. You're getting the drone, the RC controller with a beautiful built-in screen, some really useful carrying accessories, and here's the kicker, 3 batteries. 3! That gives you up to 114 minutes of total flight time. This essentially solves flight time anxiety right out of the box. So instead of frantically rushing to get that sunset shot before your one and only battery dies, you can actually breathe, take your time, frame your shot perfectly, and get the exact take you want.
All right, moving into section 1, form and flight. We are going to look specifically at weight and portability. 249 grams. Now, you might be wondering, why does staying under that 250-gram magic number matter so much for us creators? Well, first off, you can literally toss this thing into a backpack without feeling like a pack mule. But more importantly, in so many places around the world, staying under that specific weight limit completely sidesteps a lot of heavy registrations and flight restrictions. It just makes the entire process vastly less intimidating when you just want to go launch at a local park or down at the beach.
And speaking of launching, the DJI RC experience simplifies the whole shebang into 3 basic steps. 1, turn on the controller. 2, connect to the drone. And 3, start flying. It is that easy. Because this controller has its own built-in screen, it completely removes the headache of having to awkwardly clamp your phone into a mount, fumbling around with cables, or, the absolute worst, having your flight interrupted by a random text message from your mom. It creates an incredibly clean, super fast takeoff experience, especially for beginners.
Okay, section 2, content creation tools. We are moving right along to the camera specs and features. Let's rapidly run through the core camera specs here. We've got 4K HDR video, 12 megapixel still photos, level 5 wind resistance, and intelligent shooting features that actually automate cinematic movement for you. Now that 4K HDR, that is an absolute lifesaver when you're dealing with mixed lighting. Imagine you're shooting a gorgeous real estate property with a super bright sky, or maybe a glowing sunset over the ocean. HDR actively helps balance out those harsh shadows and bright highlights to give you beautiful, highly polished, professional-looking shots right out of the camera. And this brilliantly illustrates what I think is the absolute killer app for modern creators: true vertical shooting. So instead of shooting horizontally and then awkwardly cropping the sides in post, which, by the way, destroys your resolution, the camera gimbal on the Mini 3 physically rotates 90 degrees. You are capturing uncropped, high-quality, portrait-oriented video that is perfectly formatted natively for TikTok, YouTube Shorts, and Instagram Reels. And you're doing it without losing a single pixel of quality. It's awesome.
All right, section 3, the catch and final verdict. Let's honestly address the limitations and give our final recommendations.
Look, we've got to be real here and explicitly compare the DJI Mini 3 against its bigger, pricier sibling, the DJI Mini Pro series. Yes, the Mini 3 is incredibly beginner-friendly and super affordable, but it only has basic downward sensors. It completely lacks the advanced obstacle avoidance system that you'll find on the Pro models. What does that mean for you? It means if you are a beginner flying the Mini 3, you have to be incredibly careful around trees, power wires, buildings, and tight spaces. Because if you accidentally fly sideways into a tree branch, the drone isn't going to stop itself. You really have to fly responsibly.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how it perfectly maps out the ideal user personas against the direct benefits they get from this specific combo package. Travel bloggers, you get that highly portable, lightweight form factor. Social media creators get that true vertical shooting for their reels and shorts. Real estate shooters get that polished 4K HDR footage to really show off properties. And for the absolute beginners out there, you get that incredibly easy RC controller and a massive 114 minutes of flight time to just learn and practice without any of the stress. Which brings us to a definitive conclusion from our source material. If this is your first serious drone, this combo is one of the easiest DJI packages to recommend. Wrapping this whole thing up, for casual aerial filming, everyday YouTube content creation, and high-quality social media clips, this lightweight package delivers absolutely incredible value. It gives you all the tools you need to succeed without completely overwhelming you.
So, we've broken down the specs, the immense benefits, and, of course, the very real limitations of the DJI Mini 3 Fly More combo. I want to leave you with this final provocative thought. Which of your creative visions will take flight first?
Is it going to be an epic travel vlog, a stunning real estate tour, or maybe your very next viral vertical short? Think about how you can apply what we've talked about today to your own creative journey. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and honestly, I can't wait to see what you create.